Hey everybody, Twin Diggers here, Pat going solo today. It is Friday, July 3rd, and I am back at the 1896 farmstead. Today I did a multiple of things. I metal detected, I cut brush, and I also did some digging around an old mattress frame that I'll show you. It is hotter than a biscuit out here, and I have been fully hydrated, believe me. So I'm just getting ready to wrap it up here. I got here at 9 o'clock this morning. So just some more things that I found metal detecting. I'll show you this thing first. This was a large root in this cage. This was sticking out of the ground, and I was able to finally cut it out and free it. So they'll probably have to wire cut that off to be able to recycle that fencing. Another odd thing I found was all this railing. It almost appears that I'm not sure what it's for. So it all came up in big pieces all hooked together. I don't know if it was for flooring or what exactly. So I'll start here. We're actually winding down on this 3 sections of these boulders that we've been working, and this I think is going to be the final in this area that we have been at and videotaping. So I found this old pop can and wire, lots of wire. There is some barbed wire that was in the ground, but I was not going to fight that and try to get it up. This thing's very strange. Another big iron piece. It's solid on the end. I'm not sure what that was for. I found some more of these J hooks, and it's threaded here. And I found this, and I think it's something to do with tension, where you maybe latch that on something and then it screws tight, maybe for fencing, I'm not sure. My greatest find of today metal detecting were these 2 skeleton keys. This one has a little bit more rust on it, but this one is in excellent condition, and I know the family is really going to enjoy that. And of course that came from the area that we're in, the granary building. This I'm not sure what it is either. It's flat on one side and threaded. And I found another one of these big pieces of iron. So look at all the nuts and bolts on that. Not sure what that was for. This kind of a spring, looks like some kind of a spring hinge for something. And just these flat pieces of iron again. Real heavy, real thick. And this oddity must have went around something and then it was fastened to 2 holes. This weird thing, another piece. So many flat pieces of iron that we find. Obviously all for, this is a farmstead. It was a dairy farm, so obviously, and the area that we're digging in was part of an old tool shed. So I did find another small little file. And we've watched other videos where they said that these did not have a handle, a wooden handle, but I have seen larger ones that did have a wooden handle. So let me know your thoughts on that, if they all had a wooden handle on them or not. This was probably the oddest thing that I found. This is like a red, hard rubber ball. It almost looks like it was a latch to something. And I'm not sure about that. Has anyone ever seen anything like that before? That was wild. And of course we find more horse tack. I don't know if this was horse tack or not. It looks a little more modern. Could have been used for a tarp or something. I'm not sure. But we found more of these, and you can tell that they are hand forged by the hooks on these. These were on hames. They would have had wood through them. The wood would have went up around each side of the horse with all of these rings on it. And then there would have been a big leather piece that would have fit over their neck. So found another one of these hooks, assuming that's horse tack as well. And a little wing nut, which I think were for windows, maybe storm windows back in the day. And here is another one, big ring on it. The wood would have gone through the center there. This is all horse tack. This one's my favorite. I found a few of these sickle bars again. This one's in pretty bad shape. And this one too, we found them where they come out a lot nicer. This is solid lead. And I don't know what that would have been for. Found a chain. And then I found another part to these. These were used on tires, to, I suppose, for the winter or in the mud. These would all hook on these ends. I think there were 4 per tire, we were told. So that's another tire chain. I found a drill bit. So that was all busted off. This is another part of that tire chain washer. And this interesting brass item. Got that. And I kept this iron ring because it really serves us well for holding in all the nails and bolts, and it's a little bit easier for videoing. This, I don't know what this is. This is very interesting, and when it comes down, it has a sharp point on each side. You can see that. And we have a variety of nails and screws, and some with bolts on them or nuts. Just a big piece of iron. Could have been for piping, as you can see the threading in there. And just some weird bars. I got a hit on this. Show the whole thing here. So we got that. More wire. This is interesting. I'm gonna go back on that. It's a little bigger, but it's curved. Don't know if that's what it was supposed to be for. So this went to something. That's kind of cool. I found this iron or cable, or steel cable. Yeah, I found that steel cable. And then this weird thing with the hook on it. So, again, more things from the farm. And look at the glass today. These were actually pieces of glass that I picked up from our tailings. We've had some very severe weather here and hard rain, and I went around the area where we're working and picked up what was just visible on the ground. So just to show you again where we've been working, the granary was on top of all of these large boulders. And our goal was to do the first 3 rows and behind, going up to that boulder there. And we've accomplished that. So what I did today is, when we spoke in our last video, we talked about clearing out an area so we can get in here next weekend. Pam and I will be together all next weekend. So today, in spite of all this heat, I cleared this entire area out for us. It's a little hard to see the depth of it with the camera, but believe me, it was a lot of work. You can see this railroad tie post here. There is barbed wire that runs all along here and connects to the fence line to the property next door. So the goal is to get that cleaned out next, because we know that in here that there are some dumps. We've had to deal, like I said, with the storms. This tree happened to fall. It split off of this large tree, and that's down kind of in the area where we want to be too, and that's right on the fence line. So this area here, I don't know if we're going to get to it next weekend or not, because we certainly have this entire open area here where the granary sat that we have not metal detected yet. We focused all of our attention on the 3 rows of boulders, and that is what you have seen in our last 4 videos with everything that we've recovered from metal detecting. I know when Pam sees this, she's going to say something to me about it, but there is an old bed spring that is in this ground, and I believe it is from the original family that owned this property. So it's shaded, and I thought I'm going to get a start on it today. So I dug all around it, and as you can see, we've got a buckthorn tree growing out of the corner. I wanted to get this cleared, and hopefully, hint hint, the family can come up here with a tractor and pull this thing out. So that would be going to the scrap pile as well. So that's all I have for now. Now we have shade. I'm about ready to wrap it up and call it a day. It is a short video as far as finds, but a lot of work. And Pam and I will be back next weekend, and we're pretty excited to metal detect this entire section in here. We are pretty positive that, and I'll walk up here a little bit and pan back. Oh, that brush pile over there, I cleared that out of the woods too from the fallen tree. And in the distance, you can see our trash bags, all of the old wood that we've been finding, stacking up to dry out from the granary that collapsed. And way back there is a huge scrap iron pile that we've been collecting. So coming back here, this ground slopes down towards the fence line, and this is where we're going to be probing and hopefully finding some early 1920s, 1900s items in here. So that's the goal. That's all I have right now. I want to wish everyone a fantastic, happy 4th of July as we celebrate our 250 years of freedom. Peace to every one of you. Be careful if you're using fireworks, and enjoy this beautiful Independence Day we're about to have upon us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye now.